Hey guys, RocketRaina here, and today's episode is going to be very basic and short and simple. In other words, it is going to be about the basic structure of everything that makes up the universe. And in case you're wondering what that is, well, that is the atom. So, we will begin. Now, what is an atom? An atom is everything that makes up the universe. They're tiny particles whizzing about that makes up solid, gases, liquids, and plasma. We will get into that in another episode. So, the atom is made up of three very fundamental basic particles. And those particles are protons, electrons, and neutrons. Protons are, well, they are very important particles of the atom because it is the proton that determines what atom it is, or it determines what atom it is. We will be getting into that a bit later in this video itself, but the proton, you guys should know, is always positively charged. So there is a tiny plus sign. Okay, that's a very bad circle, but you get the idea. So, protons are positively charged. So, if something is filled with protons, it has a lot of positive energy. Unlike its opposite particle, the electron. Electrons are negatively charged, as you can see for that very big minus sign. They are very, very negative particles. They are full of negative energy. Not very happy people. Quite negative. Anyways, so, now if you guys studied magnetism before, you would know that opposites attract and similar things repel. So, if you put a proton and a proton next to each other and just let them go, well, both of them being positive, they are going to repel, meaning they're going to run away from each other. But, the same goes for electrons, but if you put a proton and an electron next to each other, they're going to attract because of that great bondness of positive and negative energy, which I will explain in a later video. So, we have covered protons and electrons. Now, let's go for the third particle, neutrons. Okay, neutrons are, well, they're neutral, as the name might suggest, because they have no charge. Now, you might be wondering, well, in an atom, there are protons and neutrons and electrons. Now, the protons are positively charged, and the electrons are negatively charged, right? So why in the world do we have something that is so weird, such as neutrons, that are neutrally charged? Well, a quick explanation for that would be that in the nucleus, where the protons and neutrons live together in a cluster of clumped particles, well, the neutrons are required to kind of hold that nucleus together to keep the protons from running away, which is a bit of a harder topic to understand. I actually have to study that myself first. But that's the main idea. So, in recovery of what we have learned so far, protons positively charged, electrons negatively charged, and neutrons are neutral. Now, where does each particle go, and what does it do? So, here I have a very poorly drawn model of the carbon atom. Now, that's the carbon atom. A carbon atom has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Why, you might wonder? Well, that is the way nature decided to design it, so I'm sorry I can't change that. But, as you can see, the protons are positively charged, right there, protons, 6 of them, and the neutrons are, well, they're neutral, so I didn't really bother putting up a sign for that. And there are also 6 of them. And circling the neutrons and protons are the negatively charged electrons. Now, the protons and neutrons make up the nucleus of the atom. The nucleus, N-U-C-L-E-U-S, nucleus, is, well, it's just a cluster or clump of protons and neutrons in the center of the atom. And what electrons do is they revolve around the nucleus in different layers or shells. You can kind of think about that as the solar system, you know, the planets being the electrons and the sun being the nucleus. So that's kind of a vague a vague analogy, but I guess it works. So, anyways, something you need to learn is that in a neutral atom, meaning an atom that has no overall charge, the number of electrons and protons will always be the same. This is crucial. I mean, you have to have this if you want to have a neutral atom, because, I mean, neutrons are neutral, so there's no charge in that, but protons are positively charged and electrons are negatively charged. So, if you take carbon atom, for example, in a carbon atom, there are 6 protons, so it has 6 plus charge, right? And there are 6 electrons, so it has 6 minus charge, or minus 6. So 6 plus, and you add that up with minus 6, so you have 6 protons, 6 electrons, put them together, charges cancel out, so it gives you a net charge of 0. So there you have it. That is a stable atom. All atoms in their stable form have equivalent or equal numbers of protons and electrons. That is crucial. If they do not, then they become ions, and we will cover ions in our next video. I hope this brief video helped you, and if you have comments or questions or remarks, please leave them in the comments section below. Or if you have any specific questions about atoms or chemistry in general, or if you have any ideas on for videos for me to make about in chemistry, or specific questions that you would like me to answer in my channel, please email me. My email is in the description below, so go ahead, feel free to do that, and please like and subscribe. Thanks, and RocketRaina out.